Kirsten Engel is a professor at the University of Arizona, where she also serves as the director of the Environmental Law Program. She started her career at the EPA. She's a legislator. She's a mother. She has served in the Arizona House of Representatives and the Arizona State Senate. And now she is running for an open seat for Congress in Arizona's 2nd Congressional District. March right over to angelforarizona.com if you want to know more about this very accomplished politician. Or you can stay right here for the interview the world will be talking about tomorrow. Kirsten Engel, running for AZ-02. Kirsten, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We do a little bit of research when we've got a candidate coming, and so sometimes I find some fun facts, and I know you have been very passionate about the environment for most of your life. I'd like you to take a quick look at this picture and tell me what this is about. I do dig the pleats and the cuffs on those shorts.
Well, Gary, it was 1983. That was a fabulous summer. I had the immense privilege of being a ranger in the National Park Service. I was leading tours of people around Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore in Michigan. I was actually an interpretive ranger, is what they call. So we're helping to interpret the place for the people who come and see it. But there's also a whole nother group of security rangers that are, policing things, making sure people are not taking artifacts or wild plants or animals out of the park. So it's a big operation.
And protecting the environment is such a big part of your resume from the get-go. And it feels like there often seems to be a false choice presented to voters, which is, yes, we can have a strong economy, yes to infrastructure, yes, you can have your better jobs. Oh, but we can't do all that and protect the environment at the same time. That's just too much. What would be your response to that argument?
That it's an absolute falsehood. Unless we protect our environment, there isn't going to be an economy. Without safe, clean, reliable sources of drinking water, there is no future in the desert Southwest. Protecting our environment, figuring out how we can live sustainably really is the future.
Now, as far as this race, Arizona Congressional District 2, this could end up being the race that decides control of the House. Your opponent, Republican Juan Ciscomani, he is campaigning on finishing Trump's wall, restricting abortion, and preserving gun rights. If you could sum up Juan Ciscomani in one word, what would that word be?
I think it would be opportunistic. He is taking the media hype over the border, which is a vast simplification of what is going on, and really trying to use it for his own political gain. Yes, Arizona's on the border. This is truly a border district, and it's something to be celebrated and something, to understand the complexity of that relationship. And that is really important, I think, to being a representative of this district. Congress actually needs to deal with our immigration issue. They failed us on this. We need to provide for our asylum laws. The laws that we have, we need to make them work. And we need to address this issue in Congress.
I want to get into an issue that's especially important for your voters in the state of Arizona, specifically District 2, and that's the future of water in the state. How do we address this going forward?
Absolutely. And I think it's really one of the top issues. And it's really one of the reasons I am running, to bring the expertise that I have in this area. I am an environmental attorney. I do work on issues of the environment and water. And I want to bring that, to Congress to work on behalf of people here. We really do have a crisis. We're in the middle of what's considered a mega drought. It's over 20 years long already. And we're seeing for the first time, shortage declarations on the Colorado River that provides 40% of Arizona's water. In Tucson, we get all of our water from the Colorado River. It's clearly being driven by climate change. And we have to deal with those root causes of climate change by reducing our greenhouse gas emissions. But we have to deal with our water issues. And the way we're going to do that is by just being a lot smarter. We could be conserving our water more. We could be using it more efficiently. We could be using technology. We could be reusing every drop of water. For our agriculture, we should be using drip irrigation to use less water. There's a lot of things that we can do. We're not really putting in place measures that will enable us to really live sustainably here in the desert. We're going to need Congress's help on that.
Infrastructure is a very hot topic now, but for you, it has truly been a long time cause, and you have always made the distinction between hard infrastructure and social infrastructure, and now that conversation has really gone national for the first time, which is great. Can you illustrate those two parallel tracks and how they could benefit the economy in your state of Arizona and your district, 02?
Well, absolutely. I think it's very easy for people to see the benefits of hard infrastructure, roads and bridges that we do need, and digital broadband. Digital broadband, that falls under that hard infrastructure category. And I think everybody now understands the importance of broadband. As a result of COVID, that's the way our kids were actually going to school. In some of the rural areas in this district, that's how people are getting medical care. So physical infrastructure, yes, but when you think about, people getting back to work, people being able to support their families, it's that social infrastructure that's really going to make the difference.
Reproductive healthcare, I'd like to talk a little bit about that because recently the Arizona Legislature, they've been pushing into scary territory. And I'd like you to talk about how important it is to you to protect reproductive health care at the federal level.
I can't think of anything that is, more private and than a woman or a person's decision whether or not to terminate a pregnancy. I'm very concerned about the Supreme Court accepting, the Mississippi case. The issue of whether or not Roe versus Wade will survive is very, very much up in the air right now. And we could lose it. And in Arizona, what that means is actually if we lose Roe versus Wade, there is a state law that has never been repealed that makes an abortion a criminal act. So I think Congress has got to get involved. Congress needs to guarantee reproductive health care rights.
Your district, Arizona 02, may be pivotal to the Democrats retaining control in the House of Representatives. I was wondering if you could speak to somebody who is out there saying, well, I've got a 20, I would love to give this 20 in Kirsten Engel and AZ-02, but I don't know that it's going to really be beneficial to her at all.
There is no donation that is too small. And I am thankful for anyone who is willing to put their hard-earned money towards helping elect me or other candidates, other Democratic candidates into office. But there are ways of actually expanding the power of your $20 donation. If you contact, 10 friends and say, hey, I just donated $20 to Kirsten Engel. And if you tell 10 of your friends to do that, you can just see the way one donation can really magnify its power and really build up and bring more people in. What we really want is for people to be engaged. I think building support from small dollar donations is actually the most important way of building up the money that you need for a campaign.
Well, let's get some people to put some money on the line for you right now. I'm going to run down your social media roster so they can run to it and make a donation. The website, engelforarizona.com. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all the same. Engel for Arizona, ENGEL for Arizona. You're really, truly one of the most accomplished candidates that I have spoken with yet. And good luck with that race. Kirsten Engel, running in AZ-02 for the U.S. House of Representatives. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.